Hi, my name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and motivational speaker. It's travel day! Today I'm at Porterfield State Park. What might this be? This is the most southwesterly point in the United States. The most southwesterly point of the United States, Porterfield Park, is where a lot of this whole border drama going on. Now, I'm not getting into the politics, all that. You love the wall, hate the wall, love Trump, hate Trump, whatever. That's not the point. I don't care. Maybe I do, but whatever, because my opinion doesn't matter. But the whole point of this activity is to bring you to a world beyond location, even though I'm right next to a metropolis with millions of people in it, San Diego and Tijuana, Mexico, San Diego, California. Millions of people. When I was growing up here, people used to come to Porterfield State Park all the time to go to the beach. I mean, just hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000 people. It was a beautiful location. Sadly, with the sewage issue coming out of Mexico and going to the river, the contamination's pretty routine on the beach. So, there's a park here, and we can see there's a gate here. Usually it's locked every so often. It'll be open, but no big deal. You can see over there, people are parked. There's a bus. This is part of the sewage management system for the United States. I mean, they've got artwork, but you just park your car here, and then if you bring your bicycle or something, perfect, or a scooter, excuse me, but most of us have to walk, so I measure roughly a 1 mile walk from the gate parked here all the way to the monument and then down to the fence on the most southwesterly point of the United States. So we're going to take a walk there and show you what it's like. Come on. So as you can see there, you can see the Border Patrol is active in this area, making sure the border's secured. Those men and women are always here. It's a tough job. They've got to maintain all this land. It's pretty wild, but when you come to the entrance here, assuming it's open, it's not open very often based on my experience. It is a $5 vehicle fee, but come on in. You definitely want to watch for the rattlesnakes. They are out here. This is Southern California rattlesnake land, so something to watch for, but assuming they've got somebody here, it's just a $5 fee to drive in. I never figured out when this is even open, so you just hoof it, use the shoes, no problem. So one of the unfortunate things is the sewage situation from Mexico. As you can see the sign here, sometimes there's water and whatnot on the road, and that can be from the sewage or just the river valley, but this is definitely something to watch for. It's an unfortunate situation, the sewage operation system in Mexico. I don't know what the deal is, but contamination is possible. That's why people really don't go to Porterfield State Beach anymore, but still you have the opportunity to go to the southwesterly point of America. So as we get closer to the border here, you can see the old Tijuana bull ring, the marker of the old lighthouse. We'll go check that out, and you can see how the fence goes quite a ways out into the ocean. The tide level is about mid-tide right now, so when people talk about, oh, I'm going to go into the ocean and come around and bypass the Border Patrol, yeah, that ain't going to happen, buddy. So what we're going to do is we're going to hike all the way there, go up to the Friendship Point. I couldn't use the road because it was covered in water, and there might be a sewage problem, so it's a thing to watch for. Just plan, you might have a little bit longer walk. So here we are at the most southwesterly point in the United States, just south of Imperial Beach, which is like 2 or 3 miles up the way. We're right here. You can see the border fence. This is the, I guess, the legal border of the United States and Mexico. But you can see there where this Border Patrol vehicle is, they've got this secondary fence. They said this line's kind of a no-go, or there's some name for it. But he said you can't go over there technically, so this is pretty much the end of the line. If you want to stand right here and you're one of those people that likes to go to high points and low points, check out the U.S. Northeast, Southwest, Northwest, and wherever the other one is. This is one of the locations that you can get to. It's really easy. You just take a walk. A lot of it where you can't drive in here unless the park is open, which is kind of a bummer, but far as it goes. You can see people up over there. You can see a bull ring and a lighthouse behind me here. There's a helicopter going up there. And, who knows what they're doing, new stuff. You can see tons of birds over here. It's actually pretty neat. So I mean, the fence goes out. How far would you say that's out? Probably 80 yards or more. If the tide's high, that's 100 plus yards. You kind of churned up surf. So the pictures that I've seen when people are all amassed on the border, Border Patrol doesn't let people go past this point right here. They're like, this is an actual, like I guess it's a federal exclusion zone where you can't go. But it's actually pretty fun. There's several other people here taking pictures and just kind of seeing what the experience is right on the border. And when we get closer there, we'll get real close. You can't even really see through that fence. It's actually designed that way. Apparently there was some story. They used to, I mean, when I was a little kid, they just used to have a little fence, but before that, it's just those typical stakes with a barbed wire. I mean, it was nothing. But really, the illegal immigration problem wasn't huge, shall we say. But as I was growing up as a young boy here in the 80s, I used to play in the sloughs with my buddies, and people would walk past, they're called coyotes, and these people would be paid by illegals, well, illegal coming into here, but Mexicans, Guatemalans, and Hondurans, and these coyotes would take their money and they'd escort them through the area. There wasn't a real heavy Border Patrol presence here, but crime was the highest in California right here, right in San Ysidro and Chula Vista and Nestor, where I grew up. So what happened was, I mean, people finally got sick of it, and there's a thing called Operation Gatekeeper that was put in, and everyone's like, oh, it's terrible, it's cruel. I'm just telling you the backstory, not political, that I lived here, and we had people going over our yard. I lived with my parents, of course, my brother, going over our yard, stealing stuff. People would get into our house and, hey, could you use your things? And the Border Patrol would come and arrest them. We had one time, 5 federal agents came up to the door, guns drawn, badges like, you gotta let us in, there's some bad people in your backyard. Like, what? Yeah, we opened it. I was like, well, Fourth Amendment, you let them in, but there's a bunch of people you probably don't want there. So we opened the door, whoo, right through, arrested a bunch of guys, handcuffed them, took them out, didn't even really talk with us. Like, it was really bad. So once Operation Gatekeeper was put in, and this whole thing was set up, and those lights were put on, choop, crime collapsed, probably 90% reduction, which was great. It was a wonderful experience. Didn't get your bikes and things going, you didn't have to worry about it. So, man, that's the whole thing about political quagmire. It can be a challenge, but really, I mean, if you look up this beach here, man, it's a long stretch of beach all the way up to San Diego and Imperial Beach. So, really, at one time it was a beautiful beach, and maybe if things smooth out, they can get the sewage situation fixed, and maybe another time it'll be a nice place to come to kin. But right now you can come over here and you can see how tall that fence is there. There's barbed wire, razor wire, there's landing mat. I mean, climbing over this thing is probably definitely not going to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk along this fence, go Friendship Point, see if you can see the marker, and just give you a taste of what it's like to be at the most southwesterly point in the U.S. So here we are at this top of the last mesa that is the absolute southwesterly point of the United States. You can see down there the slough area, the Tijuana River runs through there, and up over here you can see that's actually Mexico here in the border fence. There's a fence and a secondary fence. The actual legal fence is the big dark fence that runs in between. But right along here there's another steel galvanized fence. Part of the, I guess, I don't know, it's called the federal exclusion zone, but people like me can't go there because I'm not a federal agent, but no big deal. Up in between, I'll take you up there real quick, is the friendship circle, where I guess on the weekends people are allowed to go into small groups and do whatever they do. You can see the bull ring behind me, the lighthouse. Back when I was a kid, this really wasn't developed too well. You just came up here. I mean, there's a nice awning and view over there. But that huge fence, the system, that didn't exist, but that was just the nature of what was going on that happened there. But when you look back down here, you can just barely see these sand dunes here. when I was a kid, we used to play out there, and found that during World War II, this was a practice gunnery range. So military would actually be up here and using their 50 caliber machine guns, they would target practice shooting down there, because you could walk in the sand dunes and find these big old 50 cal machine gun rounds. It was pretty crazy. Now that I think about it, it's like, hey man, what if they were using explosives? That could have been bad. There's that place in San Diego called Tierra Santa where that did happen, unfortunately. But yeah, all down there is military range. I don't know if you can see the helicopter way the heck out there. That's the auxiliary landing field. The Navy practices here. There's used to be or it still is, a track out there that is used. So a lot of times this is kind of a federal wetlands now. It's protected. There's a least turn area and snowy plover that are protected birds. So now it's much more of an estuary area. But back in World War II in the bad old days, it's like, yeah, we gotta shoot and practice here, and that happened. Way over there, you can't see them right now, but there are bunkers where they're going to mount 16-inch cannons to defend the coast here. So some of the cannons are up, and I'll show you in a moment, up in Point Loma, where they're actually put cannons that were like on battleships to defend the coast during World War II. And there were base station markers over here where they can do triangulation for ships, so they could fire and defend against Japanese and if any German ships are out here. When you swing around here, you see that man there. There's South and then the North Coronado Islands. Those islands are actually part of Mexico. I've sailed down there and fished down there, so it's actually a pretty good point. There's some rocky points out here where you can do fishing, and then way out there, a couple Navy ships. Looks like either a carrier or an amphib landing ship out there. So it's pretty wild. This is still a very active military zone. I mean, there's a ton of people here. You can see them walking down the beach. They're gonna cut over. We'll finish up this video right back by the fence. So that's what it's like to be on the most southwesterly point of the United States, right here at this huge crazy fence gate. You can barely see through there. Is the secondary fence, that kind of rusty looking deal. That's actual legal border, but this huge thing here is the exclusion zone, where the U.S. federal agents can zoom back and forth. It's all pretty wild. I mean, right now there's nothing going on. All the immigrants that came up here, I guess they call it the migrant caravans or something. A ton of them were amassed here. They're all gone now. I don't know what's going on there, but as you can see, this is it. Way up there on that tower, it's got a huge amount of cameras, infrared system, looking both directions. It's got some military stuff. If you think you can come here and get through here without the Border Patrol and ICE knowing about you, you don't know what you're talking about. It's pretty funny. So I grew up here. I mean, I came down here tons of times. Kind of my stomping grounds, real fun. Apparently they have this opening, but this is the most southwesterly point of the United States. I hope you've enjoyed it. My name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and motivational speaker. Please like and comment on my video. Hit the little arrow on the bottom. I've got some links below you can check out. Scroll to the bottom, add a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. Please hit the subscribe button and the little dingy bell to get subscription. That way you can get info on the latest updates on my reviews, travel, and motivation. Please support my channel on Venmo, PayPal, and Patreon. Thank you for watching.